I never thought family reunions could end with a body swap. But that's exactly how mine detonated, right after my parents' palms cracked across my cheeks like thunderclaps at my golden boy brother's engagement bash. In that split-second sting, I saw it all. The lies they'd buried for years. The crime they'd pinned on me to save him. And the revenge I'd unleash that would make their precious $500,000 Tribeca condo a monument to my unraveling. Call it karma's glitch in the Matrix. But when I woke up in someone else's skin, I didn't scream, I schemed. The party was the kind of over-the-top affair that screams old money pretending it's new, crystal chandeliers dripping from the ceiling of my parents' pied a terre. Waiters in crisp black uniforms gliding through clusters of Botox socialites and hedge fund bros. All toasting to my brother Ethan's impending nuptials to some Instagram influencer named Britt. I'd flown in from Seattle, where I'd been scraping by as a freelance coder after they'd cut me off 2 years ago. Post-incident. The one where I supposedly embezzled from Dad's firm.
Yeah, that.
Ethan was the star. Of course, tall, chiseled, with that trust fund glow that makes you want to puke rainbows. He'd pulled me aside early in the night, clapping a hand on my shoulder like we were still kids building forts in the Hamptons. Amelia.
Sis.
You look rustic. Brits people are asking about you. Just smile and nod. Okay? Don't go full tech nerd on them. I forced a grin. The kind that hides knives. Because why ruin his night?
Yet.
Mom was in her element, flitting from guest to guest in a sheath dress that cost more than my annual rent. Her laugh a practice trill.
Dad.
Ever the silver fox in his bespoke suit, held court by the bar, dropping anecdotes about scaling the ladder at Goldman before I built my own empire. Their empire, a boutique investment firm that laundered just enough to keep the SEC at bay. Or so the whispers went. And me, I was the black sheep, the glitch in their perfect feed. It started unraveling over dessert, some godawful tower of macarons and gold leaf that Britt had insisted on. We were at the long glass table, the city lights twinkling like distant conspirators beyond the floor-to-ceiling windows. Ethan was mid-monologue about their vision board for the wedding, private jet to Tuscany, vow renewal in Bora Bora, when Mom turned to me, her smile sharpening into a scalpel. Amelia, darling, have you found steady work yet? Or are you still coding those little apps in your pajamas? The table chuckled. A ripple of condescension from Ethan's crowd. I felt heat crawl up my neck, the old wound reopening. Actually,
Mom.
I just closed a deal with a startup in Silicon Alley. Blockchain security. Pays better than slinging lattes. Dad snorted, swirling his scotch. Blockchain.
Cute.
Like that time you secured our family accounts? Cost us a fortune to clean up your mess. The room hushed. Ethan's eyes widened, pleading, shut up. Ames, but I couldn't. Not anymore. My mess? You mean the one where I took the fall for his screw-up? The offshore accounts Ethan funneled money through to dodge that insider trading probe? I was 22.
Dad.
You made me sign the plea deal. Said it'd build character. Gasps rippled like aftershocks. Britt's manicured hand flew to her mouth. A hedge fund type muttered, "Holy shit." Mom's face drained of color, then flushed crimson. She stood so fast her chair scraped like nails on chalkboard. How dare you air our dirty laundry at Ethan's party? After everything we've done. Done. I shot back, voice steady despite the quake inside. You disowned me. Left me to rot in that hellhole motel while Ethan got the corner office. Dad was on his feet now, looming like the patriarch he fancied himself. Ungrateful brat. We protected you. His hand cracked across my left cheek first, a stinging rebuke that echoed off the exposed brick walls. Mom followed suit on the right, her slap lighter but laced with venom, rings biting into my skin. The party froze, forks suspended, champagne bubbles popping in accusatory silence. Ethan just stared, mouth agape, while Britt whispered, "Oh my God, is this for real?" I touched my face, tasting copper. No tears.
Just clarity.
Sharp as shattered glass. Lesson noted, I whispered, grabbing my clutch and bolting for the door. The elevator ride down was a blur of reflected welts and resolve hardening like concrete. Outside, the December chill bit into my bare arms, New York winter, unforgiving as my blood. I hailed a cab to my cheap Airbnb in Brooklyn, the driver's radio droning about some quantum computing breakthrough from a lab in Jersey. That's when my phone buzzed, an encrypted text from an old contact, Jax, the hacker who'd ghosted after the plea deal. Heard her back in town. Got a wild pitch if you're game. Meet at the dive. 2 a.m. Bring your A-game. Jax was a ghost in the machine, a black hat savant I'd met in a dark web forum during my exile.
Lean. Tattooed.
With eyes like faulty code, always glitching between genius and madness. The dive was a speakeasy under a laundromat in the village, all exposed pipes and flickering neon. He was there, nursing a synth whiskey, a sleek black box on the table between us. Amelia Hale, he drawled, that Brooklyn edge cutting through the bass thump. Heard about the family drama. Slaps and scandals, classic Hamptons remix. Save the TED Talk, I said, sliding into the booth. What's the pitch? He tapped the box, which hummed faintly. Ever hear of Project Echo? DARPA-funded body swap tech. Neural mapping via quantum entanglement. Swap consciousnesses for,
say,
12 hours. Intel gathering. Witness protection, government wet dream. But it's glitchy. Unstable.
And I
liberated a prototype. My pulse spiked. Sci-fi bullshit,
right?
But Jax wasn't one for fairy tales. Why me? You hate your cage. Imagine slipping into someone else's, someone with keys to the kingdom. Your folks' kingdom. The box held a pair of neural helmets, matte black and veined with glowing circuits. He explained the hack. Target 2 minds. Sync 'em up. Flip the switch. Reversible. Mostly. Side effects? Nausea. Identity bleed. But hey, revenge is a hell of a drug. I laughed. Bitter. And the target?
Ethan.
He's got access to their servers, the condo codes, everything. Swap with him at the after-party tomorrow. Do what you gotta do. Swap back before dawn. It was insane. Controversial as hell, violating every ethic, every law. But as I stared at the welts in my compact mirror, I saw Mom's rings, Dad's scowl. The crime I'd shouldered, Ethan's embezzlement, $2 mill siphon to fund his coke habit and mistresses. They'd framed me, their troubled daughter, to keep the firm afloat. Deep betrayal, buried secrets. This was the undo button. Fine, I said. But if I end up stuck as frat boy Ken, you're buying the therapy. We synced the plan. I'd crash the after-party at the condo, uninvited. But who checks? Jax would remote trigger the swap from a van outside. 12 hours. In and out. The after-party was subdued, the slaps still buzzing like static. Ethan was 3 sheets in, arm around Brit, holding court in the living room while Mom and Dad nursed grudges in the study. I slipped in through the service entrance, heart hammering, Jax's voice in my earpiece, helmets charging. "You good, Peachy?" I cornered Ethan by the balcony doors. The city a neon abyss below. "Bro. Truce? One shot for old times." He eyed me warily but clinked glasses, vodka for him, water for me. As he turned to laugh at some bro's joke, I pressed the concealed trigger in my ring. A jolt like lightning through my skull, the world inverting. Then nothing. I woke gasping, but not in my body. Broad shoulders, cologne that smelled like entitlement, a reflection in the powder room mirror showing Ethan's face staring back, slack-jawed. Holy fuck.
It worked.
"Amelia?" Brit's voice from the hall. I deepened my tone easy, muscle memory, and drawled, "Just a headache.
Babe.
Be out in a sec. Game on." Being Ethan was a trip through Privilege's funhouse. His body moved like it owned the room, taller stride, effortless charm. I fielded backslaps from his bros. Dodged Mom's frosty glares, "Ethan. Darling. Your sister's hysteria." And charmed Brit with lines I'd overheard him use 100 times. But under it all, the bleed, flashes of his memories. Like static, snorting lines off a stripper's back in Vegas. Signing the forged docs that damned me. Mom whispering, "We'll handle Amelia. Family first." By midnight, I was in Dad's study. The one with the walnut desk and hidden safe. Ethan's biometrics, his thumbprint, voice, unlocked it like butter. Files spilled. Encrypted drives detailing the laundering. Ethan's cut. My framed plea. And deeper, the secret they'd buried since I was a kid. Dad's affair with his partner's wife. The resulting accident that cleared his path to the top. Mom knew. They'd made me swear silence at 12, threatening boarding school if I breathed a word. Another crime on my tab. Rage coiled, hot and serpentine. I plugged in Jax's USB, a worm, elegant as sin. It had siphoned data to a dead drop, exposed the firm to every regulator from here to Langley. But that was the appetizer. The condo itself, their sanctuary, $500,000 of glass and steel overlooking the Hudson, every inch a testament to their curated lie. I started small. As Ethan, I accidentally spilled a tray of cosmopolitans across the white sheepskin rug in the master suite, pink stains blooming like accusations. Mom shrieked when she found it, Dad cursing under his breath. But escalation was the art. 2 a.m. Guests thinning. I accessed the smart home app on Ethan's phone. Lights flickered to strobe. Speakers blasting death metal at earbleed volumes. "Ethan," Dad bellowed, storming in. I feigned blackout drunk, mumbling apologies while cueing the next, all windows cracking open to the winter gale, papers tornadoing through the living room. Brit yelped as her veil snagged on a draft, tearing like my old life. By 3 a.m., the real fun. I'd prepped with Jax's code, the condo's HVAC hacked, pumping a fog of non-toxic smoke, think theatrical haze, but laced with the acrid tang of burning secrets. Alarms wailed. Sprinklers hesitated just long enough to drench the couture in the foyer. Guests fled in hysterics. Mom clutching her pearls, my Chloe. Dad dialing the super, with veins bulging. I watched from the balcony. Ethan's laugh bubbling up unbidden, his muscle memory. Or mine, the twist nod. In his skin, I felt his guilt. Fleeting but real. "Sorry."
Aims.
They said it was best. Best for who? Dawn crept, gray and accusatory. Swap window closing. One last move. In the kitchen, I rigged the espresso machine to spew grounds across the marble counters. Then confessed to Brit in a slurred whisper. Babe, I think I fucked up the firm books.
Like.
Bad. Her eyes widened, seed planted. Divorce fodder. The trigger pulsed in my pocket.
Jolt.
Inversion. Back in my body. Slumped in a guest room closet. Head pounding like a bad reboot. Real Ethan, staggered out minutes later. Disoriented. Blaming too many Jaeger bombs. The fallout hit like a nor'easter. By noon, the condo was a sopping wreck. Rugs ruined. Electronics fried. Walls streaked with smoke, residue that'd take months to scrub. Mom wailed to her yoga instructor. Dad lawyered up, blaming sabotage on rival firms. But the USB worm? It dropped payloads anonymously to ProPublica. The Times, headlines screaming, Hail investments, embezzlement ring exposed. Ethan called me that afternoon. Voice cracking. Ames? What the hell happened last night?
I.
Blacked out. And Brit's talking annulment. Said I admitted shit. I sipped coffee in my Airbnb. The city humming below. Karma's a bitch.
Bro.
Or maybe just a sister pushed too far. But the real hook twisted deeper that evening. Jax texted. Swap logged anomalies. Echoes not just tech. It's them. Your folks funded it. Test run on you kids years ago. To fix the family fracture. My blood iced. The slaps? Not rage, protocol. They'd known about the swap. Weaponized it to expose me further. Pin the condo's chaos on my instability. The crime I'd borne? Theirs from the start. Layered like onions of deceit. I stared at the skyline. The condo's lights flickering back on. Restoration already underway. Their money is shield. Revenge tasted bittersweet. The lesson etched in water damage and whispers. But as sirens wailed distant, I wondered, was I free? Or just the next ghost in their machine? The headlines hit like buckshot the next morning, splintering the Hale facade into a million viral shards. I was nursing a black coffee in a greasy spoon-off Flatbush when my phone lit up. CNN app push. Wall Street darlings firm implodes. Daughter's revenge or corporate sabotage? They had my mugshot from the plea. Ethan's blurry after-party pic. Even a grainy shot of the condo's disaster zone courtesy of some rubbernecking neighbor. Slapgate trended on X. With blue-check vultures picking at the bones. Patriarchal payback or millennial meltdown? I scrolled.
Numb.
The diner's jukebox crooning Springsteen like a ironic soundtrack. Jax had outdone himself. The worm not only leaked the embezzlement docs but cross-referenced them with public records, painting a timeline of favoritism. Ethan's Ivy League tuition. My community college loans defaulted. The slaps? Amplified into abuse cover for financial crimes. Feminists rallied. MAGA types decried woke witch hunts. Controversial? Understatement. It was a Rorschach blot for America's family dysfunction. But the text from Mom gutted me. Amelia, come home. We need to talk. Alone. No apology. Just command. The condo address, no Brooklyn pity party. I hailed an Uber. The driver prattling about, those rich assholes getting theirs, and watched the bridges unfold like veins to the heart of the beast. The doorman buzzed me up without a word. Eyes averted, gossip mill churned fast. The elevator hummed to the penthouse, depositing me into controlled chaos. Industrial fans whirring. Persian rugs rolled like corpses. A hazmat crew in Tyvek suits scrubbing the haze residue. Mom waited in the study, perched on the edge of Dad's desk like a deposed queen, her face a mask of foundation over fatigue. No Dad. No Ethan.
Just us.
The air thick with ghost pepper tension. Amelia. Her voice, that boardroom lilt, cracked on the edges. Sit. I leaned against the bookshelves instead, arms crossed over the welts that had faded to yellow. Pass. What's the play? Mom? Damage control? Or the real tea on Project Echo? Her eyes sharpened, busted. Jax talks too much. It was experimental. For you, darling. After the incident with your father's associate, you were so angry, so unstable. We thought a perspective shift would make me forget taking the fall for Ethan's coke-fueled joyride. I laughed.
Hollow.
Or the affair you covered up, the accident that bumped Uncle Ray off the partner track? I was 12.
Mom.
You made me lie. She flinched, but rallied, standing to match my height in her Louboutins. Lies build empires. Amelia. Ray was weak, drunk driving into that guardrail. Tragic, but necessary. And Ethan. He was the heir. You were always the spare, the one who could afford the scar. Deep betrayal. Indeed. Not just the frame job, but engineered for my crib. They'd funneled me into AP classes, then encouraged my ethics whistleblowing on a school scandal, training wheels for the big fall. So the swap? You're fail-safe to discredit me if I ever flipped. Insurance, she admitted. Voice silk over steel. Last night proved it. The chaos, the smoke, the leaks, it's all tracing back. Your IP. Your patterns. Cops are coming. Bluff. Or trap. My mind raced. Jax's warnings echoing. Identity bleed could leave traces. Neural fingerprints. Then why invite me? To slap the other cheek. To offer a deal. She slid a folder across the desk. Non-disclosure. Fat check for $250,000. Therapy clause. Sign. Vanish to Seattle. We rebuild. Family sticks. I flipped it open, the legalese blurring. Temptation nod, easy out. Fresh start. But the welts burned anew. Ethan's guilt flashes haunting. They chose me. Always me. Controversial decision loomed. Take the blood money. Or torch it all. Outside. Thunder rumbled. A freak December squall. I pocketed the folder.
Stalling.
Where's Dad? Plotting the next cover-up. With lawyers. And Ethan. He's spiraling. Britt left him a Dear John on Insta. Blames the confession. Satisfaction spiked. Dark and sweet. But as I turned to leave, the door burst. Dad. Wild-eyed. Flanked by two suits in ill-fitting blue. NYPD. Amelia Hale. You're under arrest for trespassing, vandalism, and cyber intrusion. Mom's mask slipped. Triumph.
Raw.
The swaps glitch. They'd reverse-engineered it. Pin the hack on me via Ethan's compromised phone. Cuffs clicked cold on my wrists. The condo spinning into farce. Cops trampling the wet rugs. Mom murmuring. For your own good, darling. The precinct was a fluorescent purgatory, holding cell reeking of bleach and despair. My one call to Jax going to voicemail. They flipped it, I muttered to the cinderblock wall. Use the tech against me. By evening. Bail hearing, $50K. Courtesy of a public defender who looked like he'd slept in his suit. Ethan posted it. Slinking in like a whipped dog. hoodie hiding bloodshot eyes. Ames.
Fuck.
I remember bits. The safe. The app. Was that me?
Or.
Both. I snapped, rubbing my wrists. Your hands. My hate. Welcome to the bleed. We cabbed back to Brooklyn, his dime. Guilt-fueled. My Airbnb was a shoebox garret. Fairy lights mocking the mood. He paced. Spilling. The affair cover-up? Dad's idea. Mom's execution. Ray's accident. Tampered brakes. Pinned on faulty maintenance. And me, groomed as the patsy from Jump. My rebellious phase scripted to sell the embezzlement lie. Why confess now? I poured us whiskeys. The bottle cheap, but burning true. Because Brit's post? It gutted me. And the swap. I felt you. The motel nights. The job hunts. They broke you to build me. Tears tracked his face. Ethan Hale. Crying in a walk-up. Humanizing. Almost. Almost. Too late.
Bro.
The worm's out. Firm's toast. He nodded.
Defeated.
Then help me end it right. Dad's got a kill switch on Echo, full data purge at the server farm in Jersey. Tonight. Controversial? Hell yes. Teaming with the enemy. Storming the castle. But the tension coiled tighter. Shadows lengthening. We geared up, black hoodies. Jax's ghosted toolkit finally pinging back with blueprints. The server farm loomed in my mind. A concrete bunker off the turnpike. Guarded like Fort Knox. Midnight hit. Rain sheeting as we merged onto I-95. Wipers slapping rhythm. Ethan drove. White-knuckled. I monitored the dark web chatter. Leaks metastasizing, clients bailing. SEC sniffing. You're quiet, he said over the engine growl. Plotting the twist. I lied. Truth. Doubt festered. Was this redemption? Or just trading one cage for another? The farm was a ghost in the storm, chain link rattling. Floodlights hazy. We cut the perimeter wire. Hearts jackhammering. Slipping into the cooling vents like rats in a maze. Alarm silent. Jax's backdoor code. Inside, humming racks of servers. Blue LEDs pulsing like veins. Ethan's biometrics again. Irony's gift. Unlocked the core room. There, the Echo mainframe. A monolith veined with the same circuits as the helmets. Purge sequence, he muttered. Fingers flying. But as the screen flickered, initiate? Y/N. Gunshots cracked outside. Dad's voice boomed over intercom. Ethan. Amelia.
Come out.
It's over. Trap sprung. They'd tracked the car, low jack.
Probably.
Floodlights blazed. Shadows dancing like demons. We bolted. Server room ceiling behind. Purge half-cocked. Gunfire pinged off ducts as we crawled the vents. Rain-slick escape hatch dumping us into the mud. Sirens wailed distant. Cops. Or private muscle. We ran. Lungs burning. Ethan's ankle twisting on a root. Leave me, he gasped. Fuck that. I hauled him up. The brother I'd buried resurrecting in the chaos. Controversial choice. Save the snake. Or let it writhe. We ditched the car at a truck stop. Thumbing a ride with a grizzled teamster blasting Merle Haggard. Dawn broke bloody over Philly. The news radio crackling. Hail firm raided. Fugitive siblings sought in cyberplot. Fugitives.
Us.
The condo lesson? Just the prologue. Philly was a pressure cooker. Muggy under the gray skies. Every corner eye itching for tales. We holed up in a no-tell motel off I-76, the kind with vibrating beds and walls thin as regrets. Ethan crashed hard, popping Xanax like tic-tacs. I paced, Jax's burner finally connecting in bursts of static. Jersey op? Ballsy. But the purge glitched, Echo's core intact. Your folks are spinning it as internal theft by you two lovebirds. Lovebirds, I snorted, glancing at Ethan's Slack form. More like Bonnie and Clyde with daddy issues. Speaking of, cops got your prints from the condo vents. Warrants out. And Britt? She's lawyered up, spilling tea on Ethan's erratic behavior. Post-swap bleed. Maybe. I hung up, the room closing in. The betrayal layered thicker now, not just the frame, the slaps, but Echo as their ultimate leash, tech to rewrite us. Make Ethan the hero, me the villain. Hidden secret unearthed, Mom's journals, glimpsed in a server fragment Jax mailed pre-bust. She'd written of recalibrating Amelia, post-Ray's death, dosing my childhood meds with experimental nootropics to enhance compliance. My anger issues, chemically engineered. Ethan stirred, eyes haunted. Dreamed of the swap again. Your pain.
Ames.
The plea hearing me in the gallery. High as fuck. While you cried alone. Save the therapy dump, I said, but softer. Tension strung us taut. Threads weaving alliance from enmity. We hit back. Full exposure. His nod was grim. The condo was your masterstroke. But Dad's got backups, offshore drives in the Caymans. I know the access. Controversial pivot. Trust the trader? We plodded over stale diner takeout. Rain pattering the window like impatient fingers. Flight to Miami cash. Aliases, then charter to Grand Cayman. Jax wired funds. A ghost in the wires. Don't get dead. Owe me a beer. The Greyhound to DC was paranoia central. Every bump a tail. Every passenger a fed. Ethan fidgeted. Spilling more guts, the mistresses, the insider tips. How Dad's lessons were beatings in Brooks Brothers. I was the favorite 'cause I mirrored him.
You?
Too honest.
To you.
Honest gets you slapped, I muttered, staring at Jersey blurring by. The bus depot in DC swarmed. We melted into the metro, emerging in Foggy Bottom to snag a red-eye puddle jumper to MIA. Turbulence over the Carolinas mirrored my gut, twists incoming. Miami hit like a fever dream, neon pulse. Salt air thick with vice. We crashed at a flea bag in South Beach. Neon flamingo flickering outside. Ethan charmed a boat rental, his silver tongue. My grudging nod. And by dusk, we were slicing turquoise waters toward the Keys. A duffel of dive gear masking the real hunt. Cayman loomed emerald and elite, bankers in linen. Expats sipping daiquiris. The bank was a villa compound on 7 Mile Beach, Dad's retreat, off books. We posed as lost tourists. Ethan flashing a forged Amex, security waved us through. Lulled by his bro vibes. Night fell velvet. Stars pricking the void. The villa was Gatsby gone rogue, infinity pool glowing. Outdoor bars stocked with Cristal. Dad's safe house ironic. Given the leaks. We slipped in via beach access. Shadows are allies. Hearts jackhammers. Inside, opulence on steroids. Picassos on walls. A humidor of Cubans. Ethan's code, retina scan bypassed with a contact lens hack, unlocked the study. There, the drives. Matte black bricks humming with sins. I jacked in Jax's extractor. Data siphoning like blood from a vein, laundering trails to Russian oligarchs. Ray's break schematics. Echo's full blueprint. Alarms trilled soft, motion sensor. Footsteps. Dad burst in. Not the silver fox but feral. Glock steady in his grip. Predictable.
Kids.
Echo's logs pinged your patterns hours ago. Behind him. Mom. Cool as Cayman breeze. Syringe glinting. Sedatives. Darlings. For the flight home. Climax crashed. Ethan lunged, tackling Dad in a tangle of curses and grunts. I dodged Mom's jab, grabbing a crystal decanter, smash across her wrist. Syringe skittering. No more fixes. Mother. The fight was primal. American Ugly. Dad's fist connecting with Ethan's jaw. A crack like the party slap amplified. I raked nails down Mom's arm, drawing red lines, not gore.
But mark.
You built me to break. Big mistake. Ethan wrestled the gun free, but hesitated, family freeze. Dad sneered. Shoot.
Boy.
Prove you're not her puppet. Tension peaked. Dark and debatable. Fratricide or fold. Ethan tossed the Glock aside, zip-tying Dad instead. Mom spat venom. You'll rot. All of you. We bound them, gagged with silk ties, poetic. Drives in hand.
We fled to the beach,
Commandeering a jet ski back to the charter. Sirens wailed offshore. Coast Guard. Tipped. We motored blind into the night. Salt spray stinging. Data safe. But the twist brewed in the hold. Ethan's face ashen. A dart from Mom's syringe blooming on his neck.
Ames.
It's not sedative. It's echo booster. Permanent sync. Horror dawned. The bleed accelerating, his memories flooding mine. Mine his. Ray's screams in the wreck. My motel despair. Their affairs moans. Fight it, I urged. But his eyes glazed. Voice mine. We're them now. Cayman faded astern. The lesson inverting. Revenge's mirror. Shattering us all. The charter yacht was a ghost ship on black waves. Engines thrumming low as we cut toward Bimini. Jax's extraction point. Ethan slumped on the deck. Sweat slick under the moon. The booster rewriting him from the inside out.
Ames.
I see it all. The slap wasn't rage, it was ritual. Echo's first test. Swap us as kids. Make you the volatile one. I steered. Knuckles white. The Atlantic indifferent. Then unmake it. Purge the drives here. But doubt Claude. Permanent sync meant shared damnation. His sins mine. My fury his. Controversial endgame. Mercy kill the data. Or weaponize it. Dawn bled pink over the horizon as we docked in Alice Town. Jax waiting in a battered Jeep. Laptop glowing. Data's gold. Enough to bury them thrice. But Ethan's vitals?
Fucked.
Boosters quantum locked. Only reversal. Full echo immersion. Risky as roulette. Ethan rasped. My voice in his throat. Do it. And the cycle. The clinic was Jax's bolt hole, a shipping container lab on the dunes. Rigged with salvaged gear. Helmets clamped. Wires snaking like IVs. This ain't a swap, Jax warned. Eyes grave. It's a merge. You both go in, one comes out. Or neither. We synced. The hum building to a scream. Darkness swallowed. Then flood, memories colliding like freight trains. I was Ethan snorting victory rails post-IPO. He was me, sobbing in the plea dock. Dad's affair, raw. Her gasps, Ray's brakes failing. headlights swerving. The slaps, not punishment, but activation, neural primers for Echo's leash. Deeper, the reversal. Mom's journal voiceover. Amelia wasn't the spare. She was the threat. Born first, but Ethan. We swapped them at birth. Hospital, heir. She's the heir. The fighter. He was always the weak link. Twist-gutted. I wasn't the black sheep. I was the stolen throne. They'd engineered the switch. Dosed me to dull the edge. Framed me to exile the rightful storm. Ethan, the body. The bleed was the imposter. Guilt his only truth. The merge peaked. Psyche's fraying. Choose, the machine intoned. AI ghost of Echo. Ethan's plea, take it back. Be you. I fought. Unraveling threads, forgive. Or consume. Controversial crux, absolve the puppet. Damn the puppeteers? Light cracked. We ejected. Gasping on salt-crusted floor. Ethan, no. I sat up first. Body mine, but echoes of him lingering. Jack scanned, sync held.
Your.
Amplified. Him's gone quiet, he lay still. Chest rising shallow. Ethan? No response. The merge had evicted him. Leaving me whole, Amelia Hale. Unswapped. Unchained. We torched the drives at sea that night. Pyre on the waves, data dancing to ash. Empires crumbling. Back stateside. Anonymous drops to feds. Firms seized. Parents indicted. The condo? Auction for pennies. A squatter's lesson in hubris. Graffiti reading family first, scrawled on the walls. Mom's trial was spectacle. Tearful testimony. For the children, but the journals damned her. Dad stonewalled. But Ray's blueprints broke him. Manslaughter plea. 20 to life. Ethan? Coma in a Bahamian ward. Vegetative echo. I visited once. His hand limp in mine. Rest. Imposter, I whispered. Mercy. Or malice. Ending? Debatable as dawn. I cashed the residuals. Firm's skeleton yielded millions in restitution and vanished to Seattle. Coding ethics AI. A firewall against ghosts. Happy? In fragments. Tragic? The slaps echoed. The condo a scar on the skyline. But free unquestionably. Revenge's bill came due. But I paid in full. And if the bleed whispers at night, I slap it silent. Family's just a word. Power's the pulse.